Yo, what is up YouTube? I'm Royal and today we're watching the #1 Yasuo in the world. He's playing on the Chinese server. He's playing Yasuo versus Vex, a very hard matchup for Yasuo. So what's unique about this Yasuo, unlike most Yasuo players, he actually goes Conqueror and not lethal tempo. In the Chinese server, I've seen a lot of Conqueror and I've seen a lot of Grasp of the Undying. Oh, some level 1 scrapping. Yeah, he should just push mid lane here. Vex will go down. He should just push mid lane, get that level 2 so he can actually be more useful in the fight if he does continue. But his team has it under control. They get a 2-for-1 trade. It's pretty good. The Vex went down. So yeah, like I was saying, I've seen a lot of Yasuos take lethal tempo, grasp, and conqueror. He goes conqueror almost always. In this patch at least. It's a very hard matchup for the Yasuo. Vex can proc her passive every single time Yasuo uses his third ability. Oh, a little stream lag. Okay. Oh, that's a very tough matchup top lane too. Gwen into Galio. Galio will go down already. These are the perfect trades you want to be doing with Yasuo, right? Dash through the minion wave, get your first ability out, dash back. Yeah, this is, like I said, a very difficult matchup for him since he can't dash. He does have mid lane priority though by pushing the wave. And the enemy jungler is invading. Let's see what he can do here. Oof, that's so much CC from the Galio and the Scion. Yeah, he will go down. He will get double buffs. That's really nice for the Yasuo. So he always goes Conqueror. Another interesting thing is he rushes attack speed. He rushes all the attack speed he can get before he even finishes the completed item. Let's see if he can actually use these double buffs to create any pressure. He chooses to not freeze the wave. Instead, he's gonna go and push another wave. He's probably gonna look for a base now, that's why. 1.8k gold. So yeah, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure he'll do it this game too. Yep. So he goes for the Stinger and the recurve bow, maxing out as much attack speed as he can before he finishes any item. Then he will either choose between Blade of the Ruined King or Solari Charge Blade. This game is probably a Solari Charge Blade game because the enemies do have a lot of squishies. Now again, he's trying to trade against the Vex, but it's very difficult with her fear and her passive. He's making sure that he gets all the farm. His wave management is pretty aggressive. He's constantly pushing in the Vex, but it does make sense. Why does that make sense? So Kayn actually has very weak early ganks, right? It's very hard to gank with Kayn early on. And he doesn't have a lot of kill pressure. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, nice ult. He gets the flash. Yeah, so he doesn't have a lot of pressure on the Vex. He doesn't have a lot of kill pressure because Vex is a counter matchup. You can always just fear him and walk away. That in combination with Kayn's weak early game ganks, it is kind of best for him in this lane to just shove it out, constantly have prio, and look to play with his team, go for some roams. So that's again what he's doing, he's pushing out the wave. He's not really scared of a Kayn gank. Now he has priority to do something. Not really gonna do anything on this wave, just gonna get the honey fruit. And again, he's gonna push another wave, keeping that priority up. Doesn't have any kill pressure on the Vex, not afraid of Kayn ganks again. So he's gonna get... Oh, he's actually waiting base for another dagger. So he really wants to maximize his attack speed. He has Stinger, a recurve bow, and now he gets a dagger. So if you guys don't know this, on Yasuo, once you do complete your first 2 items, Blade of the Ruined King and Solari Charge Blade, you do need a little bit more attack speed to get your first ability cooldown at 1.3 seconds. Oh, he does look for the ult actually. Yeah, not gonna be able to get the kill though. Here comes Kayn, but he should be fine. Yeah, so a lot of Yasuos don't really care because they go lethal tempo, right? But if you're not gonna go lethal tempo and you're gonna go for this Conqueror build that the top 1 Yasuo does, you wanna be able to have that max attack speed on your first ability. Conqueror is of course extremely easy to stack on Yasuo, right? Making it super effective. Because you use your first ability, then you auto attack first ability. Or you use your dash, third ability. Auto attack first ability, and that's already 3 stacks. You're already halfway done. Then you just need another auto attack. Another first ability, you're on 5, and your next auto attack will give you the Conqueror bonus damage. Again, he's shoving out the wave. He does have Charge Blade now, but the objectives have spawned, so he's probably not gonna have time. So this is the only thing I don't like about getting double attack speed early. You don't finish your first item in time for the objectives to spawn. Like now he has a kill and he still doesn't have time to finish it, right? But there will be a trade. There's not gonna be a big team fight. They're gonna go for Herald, enemy team's gonna go for Dragon, so it's not that big of a deal. Gwen is a little caught out here. His team is on Dragon, and here come the ultimates, and yeah, Gwen does get bursted down. So there are drawbacks to this full attack speed build, but maybe he thinks with Conqueror, if he can just have his first ability on a very small cooldown, he can just quickly scale his Conqueror up and do a lot of DPS in these team fights, even without having any items, just with plain attack speed. And Yasuo definitely does feel a lot smoother as well once you have a lot of attack speed. He also managed to get 2 plates so far, which I didn't talk about, but that is pretty important. Yeah, I was surprised if Vex wasn't gonna cancel that back. Very greedy base. So now he's gonna have to stay a little longer. Sion is just ulting down mid lane, seeing if he can catch out the Vex. Oh, he's actually using the Herald. Okay, this is very nice. Using it in mid lane. This is mostly where you want to be using a Herald, to get the mid lane as a first turret. And that's a lot of gold going into Yasuo's pockets. He's going to be able to finish up his Solari and be almost done with his Blade of the Ruined King as well. He could look for boots here. Oh, this is actually very interesting. He's not finishing Blade of the Ruined King. Instead, he's getting more crit chance. And I guess he's waiting for boots. Yep. So he does get boots and he's going for crit chance. So he's maxing out his attack speed. Now he's maxing out his crit chance almost. I think he's on 80 or 90%. Ooh, very nice combo, and he picks up the solo kill. Very well played. So he has a lot of crit chance, a lot of attack speed. He doesn't have any lifesteal because he didn't finish the Blade of the Ruined King, but he doesn't seem to need it for these fights. He does have the lifesteal rune though. And he's farming the enemy jungle. This is something that's incredibly efficient if you can do it. He just farmed all 3 camps. I don't know if he's gonna finish this one, but he farms 2 camps, including red buff from the enemy jungler. Oh, he flashes into it. He does have his ultimate now. Yep, he doesn't even need it. Very well played. Yasuo is so strong in dueling if you have Conqueror and you can get your first ability cooldown that low. Look how strong he is with just like 1 item completed, some crit and some more attack speed. He gets his damage from the Conqueror. Galio is top lane with him. His bot lane does need to back off. He does get another turret. And he's gonna clean up the Krug as well. So incredibly efficient if you're able to farm the enemy jungler's camps. He's getting so much extra gold, and he's also denying that gold from the enemy jungler. Oh, great knock-up. Beautiful combo. He gets the knock-up, and then he does the slice spin into ult combo for even more damage. He did misplay a little bit. He probably didn't have to die there. But Galio will clean it up, but he'll also go down. That's how he continues his build. Okay, so he doesn't finish a crit item. He gets his Blade of the Ruined King first, and now he's gonna go finish the crit item while keeping the dagger as a component. So another awesome thing this Yasuo does, he does not build Infinity Edge. He actually prefers to go Bloodthirster, get that sustain, get that extra tankiness with a shield and the lifesteal. So you do lose quite a bit of damage for not going Infinity Edge, but he definitely prefers the sustain that you get from the Bloodthirster, so you can stay alive and do more damage as the fight goes on. Of course, Yasuo might be a bit of an assassin in his playstyle, but at the same time, he's also a melee crit carry like Tryndamere, like Master Yi. So the longer you can survive, the more DPS you can do in these fights. Oh, he's getting focused really hard here. Now, this was a bit of a misplay for him. Galio is not there, and Jenna was not able to peel for him, so he just gets collapsed on and dies. This is exactly what you want to be avoiding when you teamfight with Yasuo, right? Because you don't really have a reliable escape, you can only dash in. His Jan is actually very far behind too, so he's 0-4 now. So let's see if he goes for the Bloodthirster again, or if he just goes Infinity Edge this game. But most games I've seen him, he does go Bloodthirster. He's actually just waiting for the boots. He's gonna go for Merc Treads. Very good buy against champions like Vex. Karma, of course. So yeah, Merc Treads a lot of value here. He usually goes for Proto Belt enchant, unless the enemy has a Zed or a Fizz, then he'll probably go Stasis. But a lot of the time he does go Proto Belt for the extra mobility. His team is fighting, but he's clearing off red buff first. Good combo by the Vex, but she will be caught out. Now she actually has Stasis already. Let's see how he plays this fight. He doesn't get the knock up on the Gwen. This does seem like a bit of a lost fight. Actually, him and Sion passive are going ham. He's not able to get the knock up. Oof, beautifully dashing through the minions to get the Karma, and he gets the knock up. You see how he gets a node attack right before ulting, maximizes his damage. So when you knock up someone with Yasuo, you don't have to ult right away, right? They're CC'd, and you can ult last second possible, right? On the last frame possible, and do extra damage, keep them CC'd for longer. So don't feel rushed to ult every time you see a knock up, right? Let that CC keep them occupied, do some damage, do an extra auto attack, do a dash through them, dash spin, and then ult, like he's done in some of these combos. Obviously that's a lot harder to do, but if you want to play Yasuo, you really need to master him to be useful. And again, he pushes out the side lane and he immediately goes to farm the enemy jungle if he can. He's denying the enemy jungler so much gold. So yeah, from the looks of it, the enemy jungler is actually top side right now, so he misses 2 camps to the Yasuo. He's almost level 13. Good knock up, that should be another kill. Well played, and here comes the enemy jungler with no camps, being all sad. Oh, and his team's actually there for the follow-up. He does go down here, he got bursted down. Now this is what you need to avoid. You need to avoid getting bursted down as Yasuo, so you can do your consistent DPS. So yeah, he goes for Bloodthirster third, like I said, and he finishes his Proto Belt. So now, yep, it seems like he's gonna be going for the Divine Sunderer. A lot of times he either goes Divine Sunderer or Trinity Force, depending on the game. It usually depends on his lead, right? When he's super far ahead and just wants to when he's super far ahead and just wants to have fun, he goes for the Trinity Force. Most of the time he goes for the Divine Sunderer. Also, if you notice, he's using his first ability just when he's walking around. Oh, a little bit of lag. But yeah, just when he's walking around, he uses his first ability to max the stacks on his Solari Charge Blade to get that extra damage off. He doesn't steal the blue buff from the Galio, that's good. Ideally, his jungler would get that and then Galio, but it's fine. So now they're playing around this Baron area. I would have liked to see him split push a lot more. I would have liked to see him go bot lane here, clean up that wave. But the bot lane is pushing to the enemy team. Oh, great knockup by the Janna on the enemy Karma. He's able to get into the backline right away. Sion is so tanky. He's tanked so much damage. He's looking for a Proto Build play. Still a very close game, 19-18 on the kill score. He does go for the Proto Belt. Ooh, she flashes right into a trap, but he does have stasis. He's exhausted. Great knock up, gets the ulti. The ulti is such a low cooldown. He uses it again. It's another 2 kills. First ability flash. Cancels the animation, gets the knock up on the Zeri and kills her. And this should be Baron. They could either get Baron or inhib mid, but Baron's definitely more worth it. Look how much sustain he has. Can he solo this Baron? He gets so much sustain. He probably can't solo it, but still very insane. That Bloodthirster is really doing work. So even though he has slightly less damage, he definitely makes up for it with sustain. He doesn't have enough to finish his Sunderer, so he's gonna go get the top wave. He's kind of ruining his team's tempo by doing this. Okay, he doesn't stay too long, so yeah, he won't be able to finish the Sunderer. When you get Baron, you really don't want to ruin your team's tempo. You guys all want to base together and then push together. Because if you go and farm something, and your team has base and they're pushing, and then you base, then you're off the map and it's a 4v5 until you get back on the map. So ideally when you do get the Baron, you want to base together and then push together, not ruin your tempo. The enemy team is overextending bot lane. He charges up his tornado. He fails the dash on the Grump actually. Doesn't get the knock up. But they will be able to catch out the Kayn. They did lose Galio. Yeah, this isn't great here. They're not really getting low value from their Baron. He's diving very deep. No wind wall to save him. That was very deep. He shouldn't have ulted there. Bit of a mistake. His whole team is actually not playing this perfectly. They want to be pushing all lanes at the same time, or at least 2 lanes. And instead they all just went bot lane for this weird fight. He does finish his Sunder though. He's on 4 items now. He's very strong. He's finally scaled up. Yeah, Yasuo is one of those champions with an incredibly strong early game and then an amazing late game. They scale so well while also having a strong early game. Oof. Caitlyn is able to get the Vex after surviving with 1 HP. Wow. So Yasuo just scales with your skill, right? The better you are at him, the better you are at every point in the game. So Sion does use Baron to push top lane while Dragon spawns. So this is a little odd to be honest, because he is the jungler, right? He needs to be there for the smite. Oh, he's actually drifting all the way around to go to the Dragon. Oh, good knockup, but he's not there in time. They do want to kill the Kayn before the Dragon goes down. Oh, Yasuo actually gets it. Kayn was forced to smite early to survive to get the HP. And Yasuo does get it. It seems like he's building Triforce anyway, even though he has Divine Thunder. Which, I mean, it does kind of make sense, because he does want to have another attack speed item to max out his first ability's cooldown. I'd have preferred to see Wits Ends, to be honest. Especially versus, like, heavy AP team. But hey, he's the #1 Yasuo, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Oof, these are some fancy moves. They're able to get mid inhib. I don't know if they will be able to wend, because Kayn and Zeri are about to spawn, but they are getting 2 inhibs here. Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to wend. They might actually throw their lead here. Yeah, the enemy team will be getting some shutdowns on the Zeri, which is very scary. Might even be able to get Caitlyn. Yep. Oof, and now he's also getting baited. Okay, he gets a Vex. Windwall. Gets the Zeri. Oh, the Janna was so close. She just got there for the shield. That would have been a triple kill. So he does sell the dagger and he goes for the Twin Guard, I think it's called. The new tank item. Get the extra tankiness. Makes sense, makes sense. So he's just maximizing his DPS by going Conqueror. By going Bloodthirst instead of Infinity Edge, he's maximizing his long-term DPS. He's trying to stay alive, do damage. He's taking the TP for when he spawns. The enemy team is doing Baron. This could be a comeback for them if they are able to get it. But they do it so slow without the Zeri or the Vex. Their DPS is so slow. They do have Kayn. Okay, Janna. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that ult from Janna. She did kind of waste some time. Sion is here. She could be able to steal it now. Max TP is not up in time. And Karma actually gets it after Kayn goes down. So yeah, the enemy team does get Baron. This is a late Baron, 19 minutes in. This gives them a lot of stats. If you guys don't know, Baron actually scales with time. So the later you get it, the stronger it is. 19-minute Baron is really strong. The enemy team gets all of AP, AD, armor, and magic resist. And he doesn't have any armor pen, but your ulti does give you a lot of armor pen anyway. So he's full build, but he's still farming just to deny the enemy team the resources, right? Deny them the Grump. So Dragon is spawning in 18. This should be the Elder Dragon. And they're just waiting to catch the enemy team. They've swapped all this vision. And the enemies will have to face check into them if they don't want to lose the Baron or the Elder Dragon. Here comes the fight. They catch out Gwen first. He's dashing through the fight. Kane's being very annoying, but he's able to clean up the Karma. Oh, she actually lives. Like, he'll flash for her, and now she can go for the Zeri too, but she'll just escape with her mobility. Not a great fight from the Yasuo, but since the Gwen went down right away, it will be an easy fight for them to actually win. And this is what you want to do to close out games, right? Sweep the enemy vision, wait at an objective, catch the enemies as they're coming into it, and face checking. Perfectly executed from challenger players in China. And they'll be able to close out the game. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment for more, and subscribe for more Wild Rift content.